Hi, everybody. This is Robert Lopez saying, yo, 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 to my brothers and to my sisters. Mwah! Big kiss. First of all, I wanted to talk today about worshiping in spirit and in truth. I know that's something we have heard many times, but I wanted to touch it because this is the thing. Don't we want to be closer to God? Don't we want to be anointed? Don't we want a double portion? Well, these are the steps that you got to follow in order to become a worshiper. Not only a worshiper, but actually a worshiper that worships in spirit and in truth. So, before I start, I wanted to let you know that this is an article 2014 from the website Desiring God, written by David Massins. And this is how it starts. The issue is not whether we will worship, but what? Even better, whom or how. Sorry, whom and how. On this Sunday, let's get ready to do worship. Perhaps the most significant single biblical text for guiding the essence of what we're pursuing together when we gather is Jesus' words in John 4:23 to 24. And it says, the hour is coming and it's now here. When worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Father is seeking such people to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. Heart and head. True worship, says Jesus, is in spirit and in truth. Part is plain enough with the coming of Jesus that truth centers on his person and the one who is himself. The one who is himself, the truth. That's in John 4. And the message about his had saving accomplishments for us, which is the word of the truth and the gospel. That's in Corinthians 1:5. It is this word of truth that is spoken about in James 1:18, by which we're giving new birth. And this word of truth, as it says in 2 Timothy 2:15, that Christian workers endeavor to handle all right, and this truth that anchors and saturates worship that is truly Christian. But what about the Spirit? Is this Spirit, or is it our spirit actually? Or is it God's Spirit? Jesus' memorable statement in John 3:6 helps. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the Spirit is the Spirit. It's not either or, but both. And for those who are new creatures in Christ, our spirit owes its existence and vibrancy to the Spirit of God. As John Piper writes, true worship comes only from spirits made alive and sensitive by the quickening of the Spirit of God. God's Spirit ignites and energizes our spirit. Now, bone and marrow. Christian worship engages both in heart and head. It necessitates true doctrine about the Father and His Son and their partnership in rescuing sinners, and due emotion about that doctrine. It is both an affair of the heart and an affair of the mind. Piper sums it up as strong affections for God, rooted in truth. And here it goes. Worship must be vital and real in the heart. The worship must rest on a true perception of God. There must be the Spirit, and there must be the truth. Truth without emotion produces dead orthodoxy and a church full, or half full, of artificial admirers. On the other hand, the emotion without truth produces an empty frenzy and cultivates shallow people who refuse the doctrine of rigorous thought. But true worship comes from people who are deeply emotional and who have a very deep love and a sound doctrine. Strong affections for God are rooted in the truth and are the bone marrow of biblical worship. That's in verses 81-82. So the essence of true worship is not external, but it's internal. Heart and head, emotion and thought, spirit and truth. We were talking all life as worship. That's in Romans 12:1. Or incorporate gatherings for worship. Yet we're so prone to identify worship with the externals, how nice or shabby the building is, how many are in attendance, how good the music is, how gifted the preacher is, whether someone near us is doing something on their smartphone other than reading a Bible app or taking notes, or whatever one of the worship leaders is waving a hand distractingly or doing those odd facial expressions or swaying or even jumping. There's something to be said about undistracting excellence. Those planning leadership worship services, and you see, this is the thing. I'm going to tell you guys, because there is something to be said about undistracting excellence for those planning and leading worship services, but that's for another time. But while the external forms that our worship takes are not insignificant, they are not the essence. They do not make it, and they should not break it. True worship is not centered on the coextensive with forms, but flowing from the heart, spirit, and truth. Lastly, whatever your contents, take this reminder with you as you ready your heart and roll up to your next corporate worship gathering. The externals do matter, but they are not the essence. They need not to rule the day. Whether your corporate context is wonderfully conducive to what moves you most, our grades against all your personal preferences, the heart of worship, need not to be hindered, because the heart of worship is the heart. At the bottom, it's not what we do or what don't do with our hands, or what someone else is doing or not doing, but what we can do with our hearts and minds because of one who has captured our hearts and minds. Worship is in spirit and in truth. Well, people, after hearing that, I hope that helps you understand that verse of worshiping God in spirit and truth. It is my hope that little by little, you guys grow in the Lord. So I invite you, give yourself a chance, give yourself the opportunity to be different, to grow more. Okay, I'm gonna say yo, 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 yo to my brothers. Mwah! Big kiss to my friends which are female. And as always, please be kind. May God bless you and have an awesome night. Bye-bye.